Okay, so now we continue with the pressure changes that take place in the heart during cardiac cycle. Okay, so first of all, you have to differentiate the pressure that will change in 3 different locations. So if you look at this graph, so it will involve pressure of atria. Okay, so pressure of atria is represented by this graph. And then second, pressure of ventricle. Okay, here is the pressure of ventricle. Another one, pressure of aorta. So actually, if you look at this graph, so this ventricle actually, it is refers to the left ventricle lah, because of what? It will refers to the aorta. Okay, it is relate to the aorta. Okay, so actually what you have to explain in this graph, okay, macam mana kita nak explain, ada beberapa point yang penting. First, you have to explain what happened at A, 1, 2, 3 and also 4. Okay, so we look one by one. So kita tengok dulu at A. Okay, A means atria systole, because of what? If you look at the pressure of atria here is increased. Okay, atria systole means atria contract. So what happened during atria contract? So blood is pumped into the left ventricle. Okay, and it will increasing the pressure in the ventricle. Okay, so means that if you look at A, since atria contract, so the pressure in the atria will increase. Ada berlaku increasing of pressure dekat atria dekat sini. So what happen? Atria akan contract. Maksudnya dekat sini adalah left atrium will be contract. So since left atrium contract, so left atrium will pump blood into the left ventricle. So once ventricle is already received the blood from the atria, so it will increasing the pressure in the ventricle. Okay, and then we look at A1. We look at 1 here. Okay, so what happened at 1? Atria pressure falls below than ventricle. Because of what? Atria is already pump blood into the ventricle. So the pressure of atria start to decrease, but the pressure of ventricle starts to increase. Okay, so what happened at this time? So since pressure of ventricle increase, okay, then pressure of the atrium, so AV valve close. Why AV valve close? It will prevent blood from flowing back into atria. So remember, AV valve close means it will produce the sound loop. Okay, so the AV close AV valve, okay, we produce the loop sound because there is a recoil of blood against closed AV valve. Okay, and then next we look at 2. 2 is here. So pressure of ventricle increase because of ventricular systole. Ventricular systole means ventricle contract. So blood from left ventricle will pump into aorta. Okay, so means that blood from the left ventricle will pump into the aorta. Once left ventricle is contract, so what happened to semilunar valve? Semilunar valve open. Okay, and then the pressure of aorta begins to increase. Okay, and then at 3, okay, both atria and ventricle are in diastole. Okay, because of what? If you look at once left ventricle is already pump the blood into the aorta, so the pressure of aorta starts to increase, the pressure of ventricle starts to decrease. So means that atria and also ventricle, we can say that both are in diastole or both are in relax. Okay, so what happened here? Semilunar valve close. Why semilunar valve close? Because the pressure of ventricle is below than the pressure of the aorta. So semilunar valve must be closed. Okay, because of what? To prevent the flow of blood from the aorta into the ventricle. Okay, and then the ventricular pressure decrease. Okay, then at 4, ventricular pressure drops below than the atria pressure. Maksudnya kalau kita tengok dekat sini, pressure of ventricle adalah lebih rendah daripada pressure of atria. So what happened at this time? At 4, AV valve open. Okay, and then the heart relax until the next impulse from SA node starts the whole process again. So as a conclusion, okay, kalau kita tengok dekat sini at 1, actually it will refers to the close AV valve close. At 2 is semilunar valve open, and then at 3 semilunar valve close, and at 4 AV valve open. Okay, and then you have to differentiate the pressure changes in all of these 3 places. Alright.